Hello everybody, welcome to my favorite edition of Decants with D. I was supposed to have a Napa Valley Cabernet wine tasting last night, and because of all the terrible things that are happening to us right now related to the coronavirus, we had to cancel. So the idea came, well, let's just do a video where I experience these beautiful wines together with all of you on film. I am Dietmar Ostermann, I'm your host, and I'm just a regular guy from Long Island who loves wine. What we want to do is drink some wines as I have been doing for 30 plus years, and that gives me the confidence that I can share with you some of my insights from having collected these wines and having tasted them for a long time. I have a cellar back behind me of some 1,200 bottles. I pulled some bottles out for today's tasting. There will be 3 of those top-notch Napa Cabernets that I'm going to open up for you and show you how great these Napa Valley Cabernets are. So why Cabernet Sauvignon? Cabernet Sauvignon is one of the best and most famous grapes around the world. You find obviously Cabernet Sauvignon in the French Bordeaux wines, but you find Cabernets in Chile, in Australia, in Italy, all around the world, and of course to a very large degree in the United States. And in the United States we find Cabernet grapes extensively in California and in Napa Valley. Why Napa Valley? Well, California has multiple wine regions. Sonoma Valley, many of you will have heard. To the north is Alexander Valley. But Napa Valley is special. Napa Valley is the best of all the wine regions in California. It's a little bit more inland than Sonoma, and so therefore it's a little bit more protected from the harsh weathers from the Pacific Ocean, and has a beautiful cold nights and warm days climate. And the Cabernet Sauvignon grape grows perfectly in Napa Valley. So the 3 wines that I have selected is a easy entry Beringer Nights Valley 2015. 2015 is an excellent year. I also have the Joseph Phelps 2014. 2014 was also a great year in Napa Valley. And then finally I have the Caymus 2014 Napa Valley Cabernet. All years from 2013, 14, 15, 16 are excellent years in California. The 2016 particularly outstanding year. So to the degree that you want to stack up on California Cabernet, 2016 is your year to try it with. That makes perfect sense. The wines are available right now, and it's probably the best year that Napa had in the last 10 years. So the Beringer is a middle-of-the-road entry-level Cabernet. You can probably buy it for about $25. The Joseph Phelps is a significant step up from there, probably a $65 wine. And the Caymus is about $75 when they're first getting released, and a wine that is 6 years old in Caymus is probably now, if you want to buy it retail, about $100, $120. So those are the 3 wines we are trying. And let me get started by opening the first. This is the Beringer Nights Valley. So you can see the equipment that I'm using is old-fashioned. I like the more mechanical. This is an Italian piece of device that I personally purchased in Barolo at the Barolo Wine Library. Works perfectly and never fails. Typically I like to decant my wines. That allows the wine to get the maximum interaction with oxygen and develop the full potential of its flavors. All right, here we go. So in my book, there are 4 phases to tasting wine. The first one is related to the visuals, looking at it and judging it by the color, as well as looking at the bottle and looking at the overall appearance of the bottle. Most Cabernet bottles have this square shape as opposed to Pinot Noir bottles, which have the more round shape. This is a simple, elegant black label. I like it. Now you look at the wine. You hold the glass by the stem. You shake it around a little bit. It has a beautiful dark plum Cabernet color. Great legs on the glass. That means the wine is pretty good. Typically, a wine with a lot of legs is a good wine. So that's phase one. Shake it around a little bit for the aromas to develop. Give it a sniff. I recommend sniffing it multiple times, shaking it a little bit more, giving it more opportunity to oxidize. I smell aromas of lots of fruit, berries, darker berries, blackberry. Some aromas of blackcurrant in there as well. So then the third stage is to actually put it into your mouth and swirl it all over in your mouth so that much of the inside of your mouth and your tongue interacts with the wine. My good friend Gary V from the wine library calls it "Give it a whirl," so let's give it a whirl. Great fruit. The blackberry comes through all the way when you swirl it around in your mouth. This wine has a medium long finish. That's the fourth part of the wine tasting, that you actually then swallow it. And you see, how does the wine interact with your throat? Is there a lot of tannins? Is it very pleasant? And do the tastes and the aromas linger on for a long time? That would be a long finish, or is it more short? So this one has a medium finish. When you drink wine, I recommend not to get drunk and drink too much of it. So that's why we have this bucket here. I'm gonna pour it away when I have enough for the initial tasting. So let's open the second wine. Let's go for the Joseph Phelps. Again, this Italian equipment works perfectly. Sharp, precise. Don't go too deep. That way we can can use the lever to get it out. So now comes something that people may not be all too familiar with. I do not use another glass. I don't pour water in my glass to clean it. I actually pour a little bit of wine into the glass because water doesn't interact well with wine. It goes back into the bucket. And now let's pour some of the Joseph Phelps into that glass, which is now clean because I cleaned it out with the new wine. Color. Same beautiful color that we just were experiencing at the Beringer. Nice legs. A look at the label. Elegant beige white. Simple, understated quality label of Napa Valley. Let's give it a smell. Blackberry. Fruit in your face. Very strong fruit. Blackcurrant. Some leather. Oak. Full of fruit flavor. Let's shake it a little bit more. Yes, this is what Napa Valley Cabernet is really all about. Let's give it a whirl. Even stronger, fuller, a lot more tannins than the Beringer. A great wine. By the amount of tannins that I have in my mouth, I can tell that this wine easily will last another 2-3 years in the bottle before it reaches its prime. Great finish. You would definitely consider this to be a long finish. It's lingering on. Great wine. Let me pour this away in the bucket and go to our third contestant. So I recommend that you use the Vivino app. Vivino is a wine rating app, over 2 million users in America. You can find me under Dietmar Ostermann on the Vivino app. I frequently rate wines there. The Beringer was rated 4.1. The Joseph Phelps was rated 4.4. And the Caymus is rated 4.6. So can't wait to try the 2014 Caymus. Again, let's change the glass a little bit by washing it out with a new wine, pouring it away. Great label. The label is maybe for my taste a little bit too much. The color, on the other hand, is dark, dark ruby red, beautiful color. Best color of all three wines. The legs are incredible. You may even be able to see the legs in the glass from far away in the camera. They are that strong. All right, let's give it a taste. Ooh, blackberry, blackcurrant smell, fruit forward in your face. Very intense. Same fruit forward, same blackberry, same blackcurrant as a Joseph Phelps, but a little bit more licorice. This wine also has quite a little bit of tannins left, so it tells you that trying the Caymus 2014 will even be good in 2 or 3 or 4 years. It's a wine for the long run. Excellent. Well, I can recommend all three. Certainly that's why I picked them. One of them is a little bit more affordable than the other two. All three are delicious wines with great pairings of food that has substantial amount of substance. So I would pair it with game, with lamb, with steak, with strong cheeses. That's where the tannins of the Cabernet Sauvignon grape has its biggest effect in comparison and in mixing with foods. So this is my edition of Napa Valley Cabernet tasting. Until next time, thank you very much. Dietmar Ostermann, stay well.